Employees don't leave organizations. They leave people. According to the studies, people leave the organization just because of their bosses, their immediate bosses. I know you are a good manager, that's why you watch this video. But in case, if you fall into the bad manager, there are a lot of repercussions may happen. Therefore, in this video, I'm going to talk about 6 repercussions which may happen if you become a bad manager. You know, we always talk about work-life balance. We just want to have the balance between the home and the workplace. Some pundits are saying you have to switch off once you go home and you have to forget about whatever the things you have done at the office. And at the same time, other people are telling you don't need to bring the home stuff to the work. But look at the actual situation. You can't have a straight line between the home front as well as the work front. Now honestly think about, if something goes wrong at your work front, what would happen? It will affect your home front, right? If you're having some kind of a conflict at home front, it will affect for the work front, right? So there is no straight line to separate between the work front as well as the home front. Now to you, your employee may be just a subordinate. But you know what? He or she is playing different roles behind the office. He may be a good husband or wife. He may be a good father or mother. He may be a good son or a daughter. What happens if they're having a stressful situation at the work front? All these relationships going to screw up. You're having a great potentiality to impact their personal life. Therefore, set boundaries once your employees go home. For example, don't call them once they are getting in an off day. Don't expect them to reply your mails once they are in the holiday mode. These boundaries are really important for their emotional well-being. When people are burnout, when people are suffering from fatigue, they are literally the sick people. They do have physical ailments. In a situation like this, their productivity drastically goes down. So therefore, they tend to do a lot of mistakes. It will cost to the company a lot. Imagine a situation of a customer agent. What happens if he is in distressful situation? He doesn't have the passion. He doesn't have the enthusiasm to greet the customers, to serve the customers. You see how much it will cost to the company. I have seen some of the organizations, what they are doing is, they compensate their distress with the money. They double the workload and at the same time, they double the salary. Never do that. Because you want to have healthy people. In the long term, it won't work. Daniel Pink, in his best-selling book, Drive, he identified 3 motivational factors which you can use to motivate your employees. Autonomy, mastery, and purpose. When the employees feel that they belong to a bigger purpose, what happens is they get the fulfillment. It's a satisfaction coming through their heart. It's a kind of an intrinsic motivation. But what happens for the apathetic people? They don't have the passion. They don't have the enthusiasm. They have already given up. They just come for the work just to collect the paycheck. They are not creative. They don't share new ideas. So therefore, they are just monotonous employees, just like robots. When you are having a dysfunctional relationship with your subordinates, what happens? It's a bigger damage. You know, you can't build great teams with this kind of employees. It happens when you don't care personally on them. So you have to personally care on them. Otherwise, you can't build great teams. When you can't develop great teams, you can't build world-class organizations. In many a times, I have seen across different industries, many of the managers, they treat their employees just like robots. But the employees don't make a noise because they have no any option, because they are having different kind of responsibilities. They want to teach their children. They want to pay their house rent. They want to pay their apartment rent. And because of this reason, they come to work, but they are desperately unhappy. There is another big repercussion may happen when you become a bad manager. That is, you break the trust of the employees. That's a severe damage to the organization. Oftentimes, we have seen organizations boast about their company, about their organization. They say we are the best place to work. They say we are the finest place to work. We provide above the industry average. All these things are fine as long as your actions are aligned with that. If your audio is not aligned with the video, people won't believe. If I tell you in other words, so what you communicate should replicate through your actions. Therefore, treat employees just like the best employee. Create an astonishing organization culture. Let the employees to be happy. because they will act as brand ambassadors. They will do the marketing part for you, free of charge. Sometimes back, one of the chairmen of a leading group of companies in Sri Lanka told me, you can find great talented people. You can find knowledgeable people. You can find really experienced people. But you will rarely find loyal people. That's totally true. According to my own experience, I worked in an organization many years back, and there was an AGM, Assistant General Manager. He really worked hard. He worked there for 10 years time period. But he was desperately unhappy. He was totally unhappy with the senior management. And he was looking for an opportunity to leave the organization. But he was a great asset to the organization. There was the biggest competitor next to our organization. With all his skills, experience and talents, he left the organization. All the employees surprised, but actually there is no surprise, because even though your employees are really talented, experienced and knowledgeable, if they are not loyal to your organization, they will leave you at any point. They may have already updated their LinkedIn profile. That's not a surprise, because you can't do anything. The only thing you can do is build the connection. It takes time. You have to go an extra mile beyond the work responsibility. You have to personally take care of them. You have to take care of their personal lives. Alright, I hope you are really aware of these 6 repercussions if you become a bad manager. Therefore, it doesn't matter whatever the title you hold, the power you have, or the authority you have, or the recognition you have. What really matters is, at the end of the day, becoming a great human being. Therefore, with great love and respect, I urge you to be a great human being and treat your employees just like humans. And think about always, if I've been in that position, what I'm going to do? Am I going to take the same decision? You have to think very carefully, because your actions, because your decisions impact a lot, because every employee, they have different connections. They play different roles in their personal life. Therefore, you're having a great responsibility for that. See you soon.